Hello dear students, welcome in this online session of the English medium 8th standard, and the topic which we are going to take today along with the first lecture is related with the environmental science. Now environmental science means the environmental change, and this lesson also chapter number 7 consisting the same name, that is environmental change. So as if we go more further, we need to recap the lesson, and I'm going to make you understand the basic theory also in this lecture. So in the recap, my dear student, we took earlierly the information related to climate, related to weather forecasting, then also climatical change, glacier melting, global warming, greenhouse effect, and also we took some of the basic examples related to the countries and the states of India, also countries of the world also, that how they are actually changing their atmosphere. Their atmosphere is actually becoming hot, and sometimes it is becoming humid. Apart from that, the rain cycle is also being disturbed. Now why these all things are happening, that is also one of the concepts which I made you to understand in the lecture number 1. So this is lecture number 2, and today we are going to focus on the page number, that is 43, 46 and the other pages too, related to the theory, where I can make you understand on the concept of 7.1 non-conventional source of energy. So as I have promised you in my previous lecture, part number 1 of the same lesson, chapter number 7, environmental changes, that I will make you understand in the part number 2, means the lecture number 2 of the video, about the resources of the energy, how they can be resourced, used also, as well are they resources which can be existing always with us, or some of the resources which are going to be end along with us, as we are also going to be end after some time. We all are getting some kinds of time limitations to come here on the earth and do our duties. Apart from the general talks, my dear student, let's start the lecture. Now you can see that it is focused that non-conventional source of energy. Now which resources, which energies are there? The first and the best is that solar energy. Now the concept is solar energy related with the sun and the heat emitted by the sun, the insolation process by the sun to the earth here. As well we know that solar energy is the energy which is also affecting very well for the photosynthesis process, for the vitamin D process, and also for the all life existency over the earth. Apart from that, we can say sun, then wind is also there, means we can say windmill is also producing the wind energy, which is also in the extra abundance amount. Biomass energy is too there, as well we can say that the tidal energy is also related with that. More of the energies are also there in the list, but today we are focusing most basic on this 4 kinds of the energies only here. Now as if we move further, then we can focus that this book is also sharing some of the details related to the concept, and where you can understand the basic theory on the page number 45, where I will make you understand all the concept relating this kinds of energies, means how we can use this kinds of energy and how we can prevent us from the global warming. Now in the previous lecture I made you to understand what is global warming, my dear student. So now we'll read the basic prevention methods related to the global warming. So let's focus on this page number, that is, as I have mentioned you may have also taken your textbook, and the page number is 45, and you can go and you can just focus on this lecture relating with your textbook also. So the first point says that reduction and the reducing of the sources releasing for the carbon dioxide. We should use some kinds of materials which are not existing or which are not emitting CO2 gases. Apart from that, we can say that afforestation causes activation of the forest to here. So the afforestation and conservation of the forest should be done. Afforestation means what, my dear student? 2 kinds of factors are there relating with the forest. Either it can be deforestation, elsewhere it can be afforestation also. Now deforestation is relating with the factor where we are cutting down the trees. Afforestation is relating with the forest when we are growing abundance amount of trees. The growing and the growth of the abundance amount of trees can be releasing the heavy amount of oxygen, which will be helpful, and also it will release the good amount of gases too. So these are the basic factor, but the story is not it here. If we go more further, then we can say some of the other relative factors are also given there. As we can say, growing trees help to reduce the carbon dioxide. So grow trees. Furthermore, optimum use of, or we can say the judicial use of the things which are related to the pesticides can be done here. Optimum use of the pesticides can be done, so that extra amount of chemicals should not be emitted inside our food style and inside our general style of the theory too here. Whenever we are actually relating with the food, crop and basic thing, then we need to understand that pesticides is the only thing which is actually saving our food, but sometimes it is also affecting the human health too, so we should not use that kind of thing too here. And apart from that, we can say that proper use of means of transportation should be there. It means that fuel should not be wasted out. Fuel is wasted out, money is wasted out, petroleum is also wasted out, fuel is wasted out then. And furthermore, we can say that it is also emitting the carbon monoxide gas, the single atom of the carbon, that is the monoxide gas, also to the atmosphere. So proper use of the transportation, as I'm telling you, should be there. Apart from that, we can say that designs of the buildings as well, the sufficient ventilations to the inner room should be also given there, so that it should be saving the electricity. If you are designing a hall, nowadays most of the students are having the houses filled with the air condition. I also have that, but when I'm not using my air conditioner, I open my doors and I switch on my fan. It is giving me fresh air. It is not compulsory that I will use always the air conditioner. So you should make the big windows, and the buildings which are related with the offices or the general school purposes and all should be also compulsory having the ventilating system to save electricity and go green. So apart from that, we can say growing plant and trees near your house and all. See my dear students, whenever we are making the houses, we actually need to build up the parking space area to keep our vehicles. But before parking space area, you need to understand that you need to plant a tree. It will give a parking space area, shed also to the vehicles of your home. That's a general theory. So you also need to work hard on this kinds of process here. Now this is not only it here. If we go more in the detail of the form to save the environment from the greenhouse and the global warming also, then we can say that opium use of natural resources should be done. Natural resources are limited. We should use into judicial amount. The meaning of opium, or we can say the optimum, means the amount, means it is actually meaning that you can use anything, but the amount only what is in need of you. It's not that you will take that amount extra and you will waste it. This is also actually said as judicial use of the material, means judgmental use too here. So petroleum should be also used here. Petroleum products should be somehow, we can say, judicially used out. Water resources should be judicially used out. CNG, that is compressed natural gas, should be also used out in front of petroleum and all. And practice of rainwater harvesting should be also done there. Now my dear student, you might be thinking, what is rainwater? Let me define you. Rainwater, that you know, is the rain basically, but rainwater harvesting means when the rainwater is actually it is pouring down, actually it is just thrown here and there. It's better to throw here and there, or to leave the water to drain inside the gutter, then we can say it is better than to collect that. We need to collect that rainwater. So what we can do, we can create the internal tanks, and in that internal tanks near the house, whatever the roof are pouring the water down, that all the pipelines should be connected directly towards the tank, and every roof of the society should be connecting their tank or their we can say water flow, whatever the pipelines are there, into that kind of tank, which is also known as the water harvesting tank. So rainwater should be also can be harvested out. Now for your general example, as we are living in the Panchmahal district, very nearby Vadodara, Madhya Gujarat, and we can say that this district of Panchmahal is having one kind of area, it consists of, that is Godhra. Godhra is actually having the good amount of rainwater harvesting system, and some amount of Kalol area is also having. So if you are actually needing to plant this kinds of rainwater harvesting, it will also help you in the future. So these are the general example, my dear student, in this lecture, and you will also improve your general gyan. And you need to sit with your textbook whenever you are reading my lecture, whenever you are observing my lecture. So this kinds of theory will be making you to go more profoundly in this kinds of lessons too here. Now as if we go more further, then we can say that on the last page number, the global policies are there. What are the global policies? These policies are actually internationally accepted, and also they are obeyed well, regarding the protection of environment. Now if you go in this policy, then we can say that, my dear student, on realizing the fact that environment is actually the basic reason for our life, we are also realizing that the root cause of the destruction of the environment is relating with the destruction of the environment too. Here means the root cause of the human activities are destructing the environment. Apart from that, we can say that if we talk about some of the countries, and also if we talk about the gathering about the people, they actually pollute the environment. Another convention, we can say convention, was also held in the Brazil, that is the Rio de Janeiro. In that area, in that place, there was a meeting held in which we can say that in the 1972 it was declared that some amount of gases are actually emitted in a large amount of proportion, and nowadays the areas of the world are polluted out and some areas are extra polluted out. So therefore we need to take some kinds of actions also. Now if you read about the detailed theory, then the countries of the world, we can say world, which gathered in this meeting which was held at the Stockholm's, also the capital of Sweden, if you go more further, in the 1972 declared that we need to take some kinds of action. Now if you are thinking that why Sweden is used for the meeting purpose, the very general and basic theory about this lesson and this country is that, my dear student, that Sweden is one of the cleanest country of the world, and Sweden is the only country which is a small one, but the country which is producing its 70% of the electricity and 70% of the other fuel from the garbage. This is the very best example. So we need to take this kinds of advantage also in India, and we should also use and recycle garbage, because India is producing garbage in a heavy amount. So moving further, we can say that this meeting was held and the conspiracy came to the end with the proportion of saving the environment too here. Now in the meeting at the, we can say at the Copenhagen, it was the capital of Denmark. There was also one of the meeting in the year 2009, recently only, to the discussion of the global warming. Basically they declared and they discussed about the theory related to the concept of the developing nation. We can say that it was observed that the developed nations are not capable to cut the carbon because industries are working. So the technical emissions of the greenhouse gases are also emitting maximum from the developed country, because developed countries are developed in the armies also, in the defense also, in the cloth material also, in the infrastructure also. So the industries are running, my dear students, and these greenhouse gases are affecting. So it was decided to give at least, we can say, aid of $100 billion for the development of the nation and the nations which are trying to develop out also. And in this meeting, we can say like 59 research were done. Can you imagine? 59 researches were done, and apart from that, we can say that these researches were done in order to save the earth only. So furthermore, we can say that, my dear student, this is a basic theory related to the concept of 59 researches, from which we can say that researches paper from 45 countries were submitted there. And apart from that, all the countries are very serious to talk on the matter of global warming and to prevent the matter of global warming also. So the leaders were the world leaders, and also we can say that they were making to think that seriously some steps should be taken regarding the changing of the climate too here across the world. And on an average citizen, if we talk about the reasons why, because it was done, because on an average citizen, if we talk about in the world, emits 4.5 metric tons of the carbon dioxide. It's a very huge calculation. And apart from that, we can say that Indian citizens are also in the race of the theory. Therefore, we can say 1.2 metric tons of the carbon dioxide is actually given from the Indian citizens, from the Indian zones also. Other than, we can say that, my dear students, other convincing facts are also there. That should be also development created, but development should not be created on the keeping nature on the hand. We cannot pollute the nature. So saving of the nature is the basic thing here. So therefore we can say that developing nations releases far amount of development of the carbon dioxide also, as well we can say large amount of the proportion of gases also imposed over the countries. Some of the rules and strict regulations were also imposed over the countries like USA. As an average, American emits around 20.6 metric ton of the carbon dioxide. This calculation are very drastic calculation, my dear student, and this calculation and the examples related to the theories are also very interesting and dangerous, because we are thinking that we emit less amount of carbon dioxide, but actually it is not there. Per year we are also emitting heavy and extra amount of the carbon dioxide, and that is the matter of the theory where we can stop this out. We can work hard on that, but we are becoming lazy. Saving the environment is like saving your own home, because upcoming generation will be staying on this world, on this earth only, and if you will not remain constant towards your discipline and you are going to use the resources in an abundance amount and they are going to be finished out, then we can say that you will be only responsible for the destruction of the earth and the destruction of the humanity also. So it's a time to come forward. This is the lesson number 7th of 8th standard SS, and I'm making you to understand that this is the time to come forward and take step, be disciplined towards the nature and the environment also, and you need to take severe steps also, follow the rules and regulation also in saving of the nature, so that we can also save our upcoming future generations too here. I hope this lecture was interesting for you, my dear student, and I also hope that you got basic and best amount of the knowledge from this lecture. Furthermore, we will meet in the some upcoming sessions of this lecture. This lesson was till here only. This is the end part of the lecture. Take care, keep revising, and don't forget to maintain the social distancing, my dear students. This is COVID-19's year and we need to take protection also. Jai Hind.